Use the Types, Episode 3, Rapid Development with GHCi. Up until now, we've made use of a pretty common workflow, which is to use our editor of choice, in this case VS Code, to make changes to our source code and then flipping back to the terminal and rebuilding, in this case using stack, and then running the executable. As our programs become more sophisticated and longer, this rebuild from scratch every time will become more and more cumbersome. So in this video, we're going to take a look at GHCi, which is a tool we can use to streamline the edit, build, run, test cycle. GHCi stands for Glasgow Haskell Compiler Interactive, and it is an interpreter for Haskell. So let's get stuck in. We'll open up our terminal. Go to our source directory. We're going to create a directory for our application source code. We'll call it rapid-dev. And we're going to just grab a blob of source from our previous application that we developed in earlier videos using wget. So this command just pulls a tarball from the master branch of the first snap app repository and unpacks it in the current directory. We'll go and initialize a Git repository there. We can see what files we have available to us, and we can go and look at the contents of main.hs, and we see it's our simple web server. It writes hello world and ping and bad path depending on what URL we use. So we'll build that the usual way. Stack build. We'll use --fast just to disable optimization, speed it up. Now that's complete, we can run our program with stack exec and the name of the target, which is snap-hello-world. We can see our web server is listening on port 8000. Let's fire up a browser, just check that out. And there's hello world. So we'll flip back to the terminal. We'll kill the process with Control-C. And we're going to open up the project in VS Code. So we'll use code dot. Here's our project directory. We'll open up main.hs. There's a program. We're going to make a very simple change. We're just going to change the string that it outputs. We're going to say index instead of hello world for that root path. And we're going to open up a terminal. So there are a few ways to do this. There's the view menu up here, and you can just use the terminal command, which I believe is integrated terminal in the Windows version of VS Code. Or we can use the keyboard shortcut Control backtick. This is my preferred method. I do this a lot, and if you follow this workflow, you'll be flipping back and forth between the editor and the terminal quite frequently, so it's worth getting used to this shortcut. So we do Control backtick, and there is bash integrated into VS Code, and we're going to start up GHCi using stack GHCi. Okay, and here we have a prompt. And this is GHCi. You can evaluate arbitrary Haskell expressions here, and you can also run a whole series of interpreted commands, all of which begin with a colon, and the one that we're going to run first is going to be :main, and this is a command which runs or evaluates the main function of the active target, which in this case is just a single target. And we can see it runs the program and it's listening at port 8000. Let's flip back to the browser and refresh. There we go, index. Now let's make another edit. We'll go back to the editor and we're going to change the index to root this time. And control backtick will go back and forth. In this particular mode it will hide the terminal since the editor is active, and when the editor is active and you do it again it will bring it back up and it will place the focus in the terminal, which means you can just do Control C to stop main, and then we're going to use the second command, reload, which will reload the existing module, which will take account of any changes we've made to the source code, and we'll run main again. And let's go back to the browser and refresh. It says root. The most important thing to take away from this is that this reload and main is much quicker than running stack build. And in later videos we may even be able to streamline this further by coming up with automatic ways to issue the reload and main command. But we'll touch on that later. See you next time.